Oh, hey, what's up, everybody? Onepeg here. So, KS23? You want to talk about it? No? All right, well, there's other YouTube videos. All right, but assuming that you're still here, figured we'd have a little conversation about this. Something that got brought up yesterday when I was streaming. And, by the way, I stream on twitch.tv/onepeg, in case you forgot. But anyway, I wanted to kind of get into this. Hopefully you guys dig it. And let me know what you think in the comments or something. And tell your friends to sub the channel. Yeah, that too. All right. This is getting weird. I'm gonna start talking about the KS23 now. Okay. 27 days ago, as of the recording of this video anyway, the KS23 was introduced into Tarkov with the 12.8 patch. For those of you that have been a bit out of the loop, the KS23 is a 4-gauge European 23mm barrel shotgun that fires either two variants of buckshot, the Shrapnel 10 and Shrapnel 25, a slug round called the Barricade, and the much applauded or highly criticized Star flashbang round, depending on which end of the gun you're on. A lot of my YouTube counterparts that cover Tarkov content already have commented on this, but I wanted to give this one a little bit of more time, because as we all know, BSG has a tendency to introduce something strong, the player base loses its collective mind, Reddit, and then BSG modifies something having to do with the gun in order to bring it into line. Sometimes, several times. Mosin. Sometimes that has to do with the pricing of an item being made more expensive. Mosin. Sometimes it has to do with the ergonomics of a weapon being made worse. Mosin. Sometimes it has to do with the ammo that the firearm uses being also made worse. Mosin. And sometimes it has to do with making a firearm slightly harder to obtain by putting it further down the trader level unlock list. Mosin. It's true that the KS23 is brutal, and that brutality brings a lot of fun for the player that isn't decked out in a 1+ million ruble kit. In fact, it's probably the gun right now that makes any expensive kit user shake in their Under Armour brand Hoop Dream Boogaloo shoes, scream, and then sling a drywall missile at an expensive monitor while their mom looks on in shock and awe. Jimmy, what are you doing? Well, I can't take it anymore, Ma. The rats are everywhere. But the question is, in this case, I suppose, what actually makes a gun overpowered? Prevalence of use? Effectiveness? Frequency of losing to it? Ammo being too strong? Well, let's look at the ammo first. The flash effect from the KS23 Star round causes a minor concussion effect to the wielder of the gun, with a rather substantial flash effect to the recipient. However, this has a drastic fall-off at range, and doesn't seem to leave any type of retinal burn on the recipient unless they get in super close.
Are you fucking blind?
Initially, people complained that this was broken, as every person that ran factory was arguably naked using alternating rounds of the Star round and then buckshot, snapping Chad knees in twain. A month later, not so much. In the 30 or 40 factory raids I've ran in the last week or so, I've only seen one KS23, and, well, you saw what happened to that guy. This seems to be true for the player base as a whole as well. As we take a look at the Tarkov subreddit, by doing a simple search history for the KS23, the initial response to the gun was thread after thread of how broken it was, and then suddenly, nothing. In fact, the threads that have been started as of recent talk about how the gun itself isn't really played anymore. So what happened? Was there a nerf? The short answer regarding the nerf question is no. There's only been some minor side grade change to the flash rounds, but that has only been in its effect to the user of the gun, not on the guy receiving the round. The shrapnel rounds are still just as devastating as they were originally, with the Shrapnel 10 being 87 damage times 8 pellets and the 25 being 78 damage times 8 pellets. Both are capable of one-shotting anyone as long as 6 out of 8 of those pellets hit the target in one of their legs. 2 shots are just about as guaranteed as it gets. The flash round hasn't been nerfed either, and the Barricade rounds hit for 192 damage with 39 pen, meaning anything below a class 4 is one shot. and likely a class 5 if the round fragments off of its 20% frag chance. The shotgun's accuracy is exactly the same, 12 plus MOA, which makes it pretty awful in the accuracy section. And the dispersion stat that controls the pellet spread on those barrels has also been unchanged. Mechanically, the gun is exactly the same. So have there been trader changes? No. Still level 2 Prapper with the shrapnel 10 rounds being available at a player's level 13 once you can upgrade your loyalty level. So the only thing left then is pricing and availability. BSG modified the original pricing of somewhere around 25k to now almost 45k, nearly doubling the investment that had to be made by the player. Couple this with the 80 rounds per 3 hours maximum purchase that you can make for the buckshot rounds that you'd prefer, as well as the 2-gun maximum during that same cooldown period, and now it doesn't look nearly as attractive. So rather than nerfing the gun's mechanics, this time they only nerf the player's access to it and their risk versus reward. This is why we're not seeing them around. But why did people think it was overpowered to begin with? I think it comes down to the simple time to kill mechanic. In close quarters, you can drop any player with any gear at 10 meters or less with a single shot to the legs. There really isn't any other situation where that would be possible, not with just one round. Not even Magnum Buckshot with its 400 damage across all of their pellets would still be a single shot kill because there's 440 HP in any player. Now, obviously, there are firearms that, if fired accurately, can one-shot anyone too. I don't want to take that away. The list for those is obviously extensive, but now, comparatively speaking, we're talking about something like a head hitbox with high pen ammo at a significant cost, or having the hope that someone isn't wearing decent armor for those other projectile types to do the deed, especially if you're trying to hit them in the chest. And that and the legs hitbox is pretty damn huge. It's half their damn body, right? And also the time to kill with other firearms like the AS Val, VSS, M4, HK416, etc. are all incredibly low if fired accurately and using decent ammunition, but it could be argued that the KS-23's time is even less. For those among us that have snapshot amazing accuracy, like Pestily, Landmark, and myself, yeah, that's right, I said it, top tier gameplay at twitch.tv/Onepeg. There isn't a gap that really needs to be filled to cover that time to kill variance. Shotguns like the KS-23 give the less accurate among us, myself included, a considerably higher likelihood of success than something that requires you to be more accurate or requires a higher monetary investment in that of spraying something downrange. So a perfect example of this is like 60 rounders of 855A1. Costs a little bit more than, a few rounds of KS-23's shrapnel 10. And of course, like any idiot YouTuber with a teeny tiny audience like mine, I figured I'd ask people what they thought. So we went to Twitter, my Discord, and of course, YouTube. I simply asked, is the KS-23 overpowered? With choices of yes, no, and yes, but only the star round, and the results were as follows. Most of you said that in its current form, the KS-23 was not overpowered, with approximately a third of the audience stating that it was. Overwhelmingly, the belief is that the weapon itself was not at all overpowered. Over 2/3 of the overall audience that voted said the gun itself was fine. The remaining 1/3 of you that voted said that they thought the star round still needed a nerf, but almost half of you said that you were fine with the current state of the gun just as it is. So, for those of you that didn't vote yet, what do you guys think? Did the pricing change do the job? I personally haven't seen the gun all that much in my raids over the last couple of weeks. I'm using it more in my raids than I'm seeing it used against me at the moment. But then again, I reset my account recently and I'm only level 18, so I gotta go with what gets the job done, So I guess this is the video. Don't really have anything left here to say. Should probably call it. Sub my channel or something? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna go before this gets weird. I love you guys, right? Right. Come say hi to me on Twitch and tell me, that you saw this, and tell your buddies to come and do the same stuff, and tell them to sub the YouTube channel, or don't. Okay. All right, bye. Made it weird. Tried not to make it weird, made it weird.